furniture you looked at,
At Fraley's, yeah.
and parking meters.
Mm-hmm. So she'll add some more detail.
Thank you. Staff comments?
So we don't have any direct guidelines for murals. This is similar to the other ones we've had, simply representation of the past. It's not a sign or representing any particular, just the historical areas.
Are you getting many calls for murals in general, or do you get calls for what really would be signage in the guise as a
murals we don't get too much. Chad Graves did here. We talked about doing one on
For the
park theater
church.
for Dottie West.
Oh, yeah.
And
Have
a
they
couple
settled
others,
on
but
that one?
I think that's still in exact placement and all
Yeah.
that type of stuff, yeah. But most of this is that representing historical nature of the downtown area.
I know with this grant that the state did for the arts grant, they're trying to, well, one, I mean, we kind of see it as, because people like to take pictures with murals, but I also want to have the history of it with the buildings that were on our property. But it helps to increase foot traffic and stuff a lot of times with people visiting murals.
Yeah.
I know there's been people that have come to the chamber and they ask for a list of all the murals in town so they can go and see them. So it's increasing tourism to some degree, and so I think that's kind of what the Arts Commission is pushing, is to have some of that assist with being able to do murals and art-funded grants.
There is at least, and of course this is weather dependent, but at least one, if not two people a day that take
For the
a
Hebe.
picture at the McMinnville postcard
Yeah.
mural at the bank, or Hebe, or both. And it's a backdrop to a lot of
Yeah, all sorts of
social
stuff.
media posts. So it was a good decision on our part. We were glad to be a part of it. So I think it's great. Anybody else have any comments, questions, concerns?
Do the murals only have approval before a committee for the historic zoning, or do they go before the
Historic.
only historic? Okay.
And that's something we had talked about with Sean in the past, is maybe we wanna, I mean, when somebody puts up something we don't like,
Yeah.
you know, we're gonna be nervous, so.
Yeah, and we are looking at some base guidelines for the.
Well, that's why I was going to ask if you,
Something on that.
you know, I don't, certainly within the next couple of meetings,
Yeah.
perhaps, you know, maybe try to kind of come up with a general guideline that we can do, because I think the composition of this board, I don't want to speak for everybody, but I think we're generally in the same realm of what we like and what we think is appropriate, but the composition of this board could change. And
Yeah,
that's
so to
what
have
we
the
want to kind of,
guidelines.
do, because before long, I think a lot of the available space, and I feel like maybe what we might have, some sort of ability to maybe perhaps slow it down is if it's done. Like, I would not want to see a mural on like the side of the First National Bank building as old as it would be,
yeah.
you know? But, some of these other more commercial modern buildings, certainly, sure. So I think maybe that's where we have to come at it, But, Ben's building is just as old. And, I probably would give Ben some flexibility to do one on his, because he's got
Yeah,
to
but
do
I
some
think
blank
brick and
canvas.
marble
So.
are completely different.
That's true. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. But when you look at, I guess in the guidelines, it may not be able to be rendered by age.
Right.
It may be material
Yeah.
based or whatever. So, any other
Let
comments?
some others got, and we'll
Yeah.
come up with something in the next few meetings.
Thank you. Chair would entertain a motion to approve the COA at 228 East Morford Street mural.
So moved.
Do we have a second? All in favor, say aye.
Ah.
Motion
And I
carries.
abstained.
Let the record reflect that Raven abstained. Sean, yeah, it says none on the staff updates, but that agenda was done. You don't have any late breaking news or anything?
No, that's a good point. Like I said, we'll look at some guidelines for the murals and
Yeah.
get rolling on that, but outside of that, don't have anything else at this point.
Yeah. Well, I think that would be great. And then also, I think in memory, I think maybe some guidelines on some of these rooftop terraces and things of that
Yeah.
nature. I think we probably need to take, that's in that same thing, because I think as that kind of
Yeah.
continues to grow, I think a lot of people are going to want to do rooftops and some of these buildings that have a sight line established, and then we're setting something on top of it. Of course, new construction is different. All right, Chair will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right, we're adjourned. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Short and sweet.